The executive system of government is too expensive if we must be honest to ourselves.
I'm in support of having a state police and even having local government police.
Those who want to invest had better come in now, because Nigeria is going to change and change for good.
We have given in to sentiments that are tribal or religious or political.
Whoever is honest in politics will begin to run into problems. In fact, you will not get elected.
I think you must be guided by certain principles.
Me, I like my country. I like the land and people. Everything is there for Nigeria. Make we join hands to make Nigeria better.
True Nigerians, heroes of our time. Let's go there. Hello Nigerians and hello Nigeria. It's that time again of True Nigerians, heroes of our time, a program where we bring to you Nigerians that are worth emulating. My guest is a Nigerian entrepreneur, a businessman, a politician, and the executive governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to be here again. Okay, we have a traditional question on this program. In your own definition, how would you define a true Nigerian?
Well, a true Nigerian, to me, is someone who is first and foremost a Nigerian by birth or naturalization, a Nigerian who believes in Nigeria, a Nigerian who is proud to be a Nigerian, a Nigerian who is ready to promote Nigeria at all levels, a Nigerian who is not ashamed to be called a Nigerian, and a Nigerian that will go everywhere to make sure that he takes this country to the highest level. To me, that's a true Nigerian.
You are an engineer by profession. And since I was a kid, it's a norm for we to always contract foreigners, expatriates, in almost every construction company when there's a major construction going on in Nigeria. As an engineer, what now happens to our own local engineers? Are we saying that our local engineers are not qualified? Are we saying in all these years we are not been able to train qualified engineers enough to at least stop seeing foreigners taking our local jobs?
With all sense of respect and humility, it's a problem that the African race has. It's not Nigerian. Black man has that problem of the feeling of inferiority. I spent most of my life in the US. I am lucky that I have traveled extensively around the world, not just around Nigeria or Africa, around the world. Because I work mostly in the US. And while I was working in the US, I worked for a company that was exploring possibilities of oil and gas in other countries. So I had the opportunity to travel extensively. And many times, with fellow black Americans, if we are flying, they will feel much happier, more comfortable, safer, if the captain of the aircraft was actually a white man. And I think it's the extension of the problem that we have even in Nigeria. So that's why you will see some people with their private aircraft, they will feel comfortable with all the best captains we have. So it's not just about engineering. They have a white captain, when a black captain may be the best. In the US, I work in a company where I had a lot of white people that were working under me in engineering, in a machine shop. I work in a machine shop, called Expert Machines, where I was the lead programmer I will program the machines, CNC, computer numerical control, and then send the programs to the various CNC machines, lathe, mills, vertical drilling machines. I will go sometimes and edit for the operator just to run the machines. But each time some people will come, they will ask, who is the programmer? If they say a Nigerian, an African, a Nigerian, they say, yeah, he's the lead programmer. People will be happier if they hear it's a white man. So I don't want you to be very difficult on yourself to think that it is a Nigerian problem only. I think it's a problem with the black race. We have the feeling of inferiority. Until we get out of the shell and show it. That's why nobody gives you leadership. You have to take it. You have to be able to do it yourself and say, I am going to do it. I am the best. I am doing that. So once you do that, that's it. So a lot of people who because they have only seen the situation in Nigeria, they think it's a Nigerian problem. We have people that come from various countries with all the sense of respect and humility to the Chinese, or to the Japanese, or to the Asians, or to even Westerners, Germans, Polish, Czechoslovakians, that come in here. You may find a much better Nigerian that can do the job. But a Nigerian will feel more comfortable if it is a white skin that is doing it. It's not a Nigeria's problem. It's a black race problem.
Are we ever going to get out of that?
Gradually, we are getting out of it. Gradually, we get out of it. The reason why I'm telling you gradually we get out of it, today, when we are building houses, you go, you see the best is Nigerians that are doing it. When we are building furnitures, you go and see Nigerian companies are doing it, and they are doing the best of it. When we are building, sometimes you go and see, and people are beginning to accept that. Gradually. It is taking a while. The Nigerians of this generation, are willing, or the Africans, or the black race of this generation are willing to accept, and to do that. And when you go, you see situations. You go to NASA Space Center in Houston, Texas. You see black people in some of the most sophisticated companies. There is. You go to Microsoft. You go and see Nigerians there, and so many black people in Seattle, Washington, doing wonderful things. So the black people are beginning now to accept that black people can do it. Black race can do it, this and that. But in the past, it was not the case. I guess in the past, before some of us were born, even a cameraman, they were thinking the white people were the best of cameramen and things like that. I think it went gradually to where we are.
Well, I agree with you, because I can testify for buildings now. Most Nigerians are being patronized. So let's just hope that it will also extend to gradually road construction, especially road construction. It's almost impossible to see one road construction without seeing a white-skinned man in Nigeria.
We have one in Nasarawa State, if you want to check. Tiligado actually is constructing the road between Gudi and Moro right now.
Wow.
Yeah, Tiligado company is the one building that road.
Wow.
And Tiligado is not owned by white people. It's actually it's black people. So if you are passing by, go and do that. We have given him a chance. He has Nigerians who are his engineers, Nigerians who are driving his bulldozers and caterpillars, Nigerians who are maintaining them. And we are giving him a chance to do that.
Well, I just pray that other governors and leaders will emulate. That way we would all be true Nigerians. Okay, as a businessman, entrepreneur, and you have vast experience, small businesses in Nigeria, it's a major challenge to run a small business in Nigeria. They have challenges of power. There's the exchange rates being very high. What kind of advice would you give a small business owner? What do you think he or she must do individually? And what kind of government intervention do you think should urgently be applied?
You have asked actually about 5 questions in one, but let me take you this way. You know, the first thing you mentioned, you know, that a business owner is having challenges because of energy, source of energy. Let me just put it to you, infrastructure. Because of lack of infrastructure, whether it is water or road or power or so, just infrastructure. So he say he has challenges there. That is one area of your question. And you are thinking in small businesses. It's not just small businesses. In fact, bigger businesses so far more than small businesses when it comes to that. Because a big business that is going to be taking out about 10, 15 trailers is using more power, is going to use more. So he's facing the same problem that the small business is facing. Too. So the second part you mentioned about FX keeps changing back and forth, and also it affects small business. It depends on the size of small business. In fact, the bigger businesses who are relying on importation of their raw materials are faced more with this FX challenge than even small businesses. If I have my farm, for instance, which is smaller, and then I'm just running my farm, and the foreign exchange input is very little there, maybe just the fertilizer. You know, that's the only FX I have. Otherwise, everything else is local. So I may not be as affected as a big company that is relying on nearly everything foreign exchange. Okay, so that's why I say that is the second part of your question. Then you went into how can the government help them, you know, and things like that. So that's why I say you ask so many questions in the same direction. So let me tell you about the support the government can give. You have your answers there. Government can actually support by making sure they provide the environment, you know, the infrastructure that are necessary. And that's what we try to do. You know, today we go to areas where we believe that there are possibilities of businesses, mostly small businesses, but they don't have roads. So we try to provide them with road. Okay, that is the first big problem that people have. Then we realize maybe the next is water. They don't have water supply. We try to provide them with that. Okay, next is security, because you wouldn't imagine how much businesses spend on security.
That's true.
Okay, security is huge, and I'm telling you from the experience of where I had worked. I will tell you as a good example is Savannah Sugar Company in Numan. There was a time in Savannah during the Boko Haram era when it was very hot, when the state of Adamawa was declared. We had close to 500 security people in that plant. And you can imagine how many to be fed, where to keep them, how to, you know, so many things, you know, and we were taking care of that all as a business. You know, so those are the kinds of things. So security is also another aspect, you know, where the businesses are. But the main area that government can help is to make sure that the dependence on importation of raw materials is reduced significantly. Majority of these raw materials that we are talking about are found locally here in Nigeria. So we should continue the same way we are promoting Nigerians to construct road, Nigerians to be our photographers, Nigerians to build our houses, So the same way we are doing that, we should also patronize raw materials locally. You know, during the Jonathan administration, if you remember, there were times where we were saying, if we don't have wheat, concentrate on producing bread from corn, you know, and other materials that we have. You know, that's why I like some of these former Russian republics. I traveled extensively in Ukraine. I didn't see any wheat bread in Ukraine. Throughout. We traveled from Kiev to Donetsk, Donetsk to Kharkov, Kharkov to Dnipropetrovsk. I didn't see any bread, wheat, because they don't produce wheat there. So most of the bread they had is for the local things that they have. You know, so it's all part of the patronize. So Nigerians will need to patronize all these things to be able to do that. So government should encourage us, and we should also encourage ourselves to make sure that we do some of those things. So I think those are the kind. So you have the answers in each one of these. You know, government has an input to do. Most people just think government should give you loan. Government should be able to provide loan at very low this thing. Yes, that is one aspect. Definitely in every business you need capital, you know, working capital, and the rest of that you do that. But I think you need far more than that. Okay, you need the infrastructure, you need the support from the government to make sure that the regulations are there. You need the raw material to be encouraged locally. Then the power that you talk about, So today we are very grateful to the federal government through the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. We are just completing the substation that is here in Lafia. By the time we do that, the idea is to attract companies now to say that, okay, now we have regular power supply. Can you come close by, and have your company? We have a 330 line.
Wow.
So if you have that 330 line, then go ahead, set up your company right here. Dangote is building the biggest sugar plantation in Away. By the time they complete that factory, most likely they will produce at least over 90 megawatts of power. The company itself will not require anything more than 45 megawatts of power. The remaining 45 megawatts of power, they don't have any need for it. So it's our interest to invite companies to come in and say, here, they have power that they are going to bury. Can you come and use the power? Set up your company. You can use power almost for free.
That will attract a lot of industries.
So those are the kinds of things we try. So a lot of things we are trying to have, we are doing that with a lot of foresight, that this is what can be done, this is what can be done. Unfortunately, some of these things cannot be done in a very short time. It's going to take a while. And the problems we have in this country, you may have a dream. It may be the best dream that you have for the state or for the people. Somebody may come with a different dream or with no dream at all. And in situations like that, they abandon the whole thing, and then we are back to zero.
And that also brings me back to what somebody once said on this program about putting party ahead of the country, whether you are PDP or APC. For instance, if you win election, you can also get people to work in your government from PDP.
You see, that's a different thing altogether. We have not yet matured to that level. We have to be honest with ourselves. Our democracy has not matured to where you will say, okay, I have won the election, so I'm going to bring people from another political party to come and work for me. Two things are about to happen. Those who have worked so hard for you to be here will feel slighted, will feel used and dumped. That is one option. The second problem will be the other person you are bringing on may come and say, okay, chances are he will come and abandon his political party and work with you, and in fact forget his political party. But the other negative aspect is he can come in and say, all right, I'm principled. I came from party A, and in party A, we do things, our vision, our focus is different from your party B. So I may come with this, and then you will have problems. So that's why I'm telling you, we have not yet matured to where we will say, put everything aside. The state and the people are more important than anything else. So we have not yet graduated to that level yet.
You mentioned the insecurity as we were talking. Many things have been said about the issues of insecurity in Nigeria. Some say it's unemployment, some say it's religion, some say it's political, different things. But as a country, this is new to us. How did we get here? And in your own opinion, what amongst the things I have mentioned, which one would you say it's the major cause of this new uprising in regards to insecurity?
I think it's all of the above. When somebody tells you, we are having insecurity, let me start with where the major insecurity challenge started in Nigeria. I was in the US in 1995, 96. In fact, I was the National Secretary General of one of the biggest associations in the US. That's when the problem of Sarawi was started.
Okay,
and that time, the whole problem about Nigeria was mostly in the Niger Delta. Okay? So the people felt abandoned. They felt unfair treatment. They felt this, and then they started the Niger Delta crisis. Okay? That led to the killing of some traditional rulers, which now changed to killing of the Nasarawa and his 7 people or 8 people, whatever the number was. Okay, so that's where the problem started. So you can now, you can associate that one, okay, with a situation like that of Boko Haram or that of kidnappers that we are facing today, or the Islamic fundamentalists that are coming, you know, Islamic State, the IS that you call them. So each one has a different thing altogether. That's why I'm telling you all of the above. You know, so, but fairness, I think, is a major thing for all of us. The unity of Nigeria as a country, the pride of being one in Nigeria. And that's why I say I will give you this interview. I'm more than happy to sit with you and discuss, because you are talking about true Nigerians.
Yes.
You know, so promoting Nigeria itself is a fundamental thing that we have to do. This country needs unity. We need peace. Okay, we need all this togetherness, because all these differences, and you can see these differences really at every level. Okay, even among the governors. Right now you have governors, so you have Association of Northern Governors, Association of Southern Governors, Association of, even in the South, Southwest Governors, Southeast Governors, South-South Governors, Northwest Governors, North Central Governors, you know, so it is like that continuously. So the main thing to keep the country together, what is it that really every region or every people, and really within the state, even within the state, they say, okay, it's your turn, Southern Zone, or Northern Zone, or Western Zone, or Central Zone, or this and that. You see it, you know, and we keep promoting it as a people. We keep promoting it. And it's the same thing that we are facing today. Chairmanship of one political party should go to the north, so that presidency goes to the south, this and that. When we do that, then we can go now into qualification. Do we have the qualified person from there or qualified person from there? But the qualification is not the number one thing. The regional thing is the number one thing. Then qualification comes next. You know, so it goes from every angle, and I think that's what we are facing.
So you don't agree with zoning?
I won't tell you I don't agree with zoning, because if I say that, I will be very unfair even to myself. I strongly believe that zoning promotes some level of stability and fairness. I think if we zone and say that because of our belief, my own is based on our belief, on the belief that the person must be this, the person must be that, that's the belief. Let me tell you, before the 1860 Civil War of America, before it, when Abraham Lincoln was elected in 1861, he was elected 1860, 1861, the war in America started. So between 1776, when America got her independence, to 1860, when the war broke out, about 80% of American presidents were from the South. Okay? And nobody cared. Nobody was worried about it. So it wasn't South and North, West and East. When Clinton from Arkansas was nominated to be president at the convention, he nominated Al Gore from the next state in the next South, his neighbor, to be his deputy. Nobody cared. Nobody said, Clinton, you are from the South, Arkansas. Therefore, your deputy must be from the North, like Illinois or New York or Connecticut or them. No. Nobody cared. His neighbor, the neighboring state. So I'm saying it goes on like this, but I'm saying we have not matured to that level yet. So what we are doing is based on our thinking. And we are not talking of now. I'm telling you, in the year 1860,